Yo, what up? Ooh, shit. What up, guys? It's your boy. How y'all doing? For those of you that don't realize, I've got the Mohawk. Wrestling season started, and I'm the only guy on the team that rocks the Mohawk. Better believe. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about something that I did a video maybe a couple weeks back about MMA versus boxing. There was a video that went with it, kind of what I was talking about, and and the thing that I was talking about was you know, I thought about it a little bit more, and I realized that they really tried to make MMA, you know, and I actually watched another video that involved Joe Rogan, or the New York governor, trash talking kind of MMA and putting it in the same category as dog fighting, prostitution, and I'm really kind of confused on how everybody seems to put MMA in a dog fighting kind of category when I want to prove something right now. We're going to put MMA and boxing, alright? We're going to break them down to the simplest of forms, alright? There's a ring, there's an octagon, there's something that cages them or confines them to a small area, alright? They both have that. They both have two fighters, or two combatants, or two people that in a minute are going to go at each other and attempt to beat the shit out of each other, right? They both have that, right? Even though you don't really see in boxing, they both have it. Boxers' goals is indeed to go out there and beat the shit out of the other guy, right? Alright. So, now we move that on. Do people bet on the fighters? Obviously they do in MMA, but they do it in boxing too, because it's the exact same thing. And I think the reason that only MMA kind of gets put in this bullshit this dog fighting category is because of the blood and the more violence and the more prone to injuries it is, rather than boxing, which, don't take anything away from boxing, but MMA is a much more exciting sport to watch. Boxing has gotten to the point to where, at least me, I haven't seen a lot of knockouts in like the last 20 fights, whereas in MMA, sure, it's a lot more gruesome, but it's also it's a sport of fighting. Everything goes. There's no just hands. It's anything can happen, which is exactly what could happen in a real fight. Look, I don't care what you're saying. If I'm getting my ass kicked in a fucking street fight and I have a chance to put you in an armbar and break your arm and stop getting my ass kicked, guess who's getting put in the motherfucking armbar? You are, bitch, because I don't want to get my ass kicked. So, to me, the only reason that MMA kind of gets put in that dogfighting category is simply because of the more violence it's prone to, the more blood it's prone to, which I don't think is fair, because when you break MMA and boxing down into the simplest of forms, you get the exact same thing. So, to me, that's really kind of bullshit, and a very good analogy that I kind of came up with is MMA is the chess as boxing is the checkers. Think about it. Boxing isn't really, it's a skill game, but it's not really that hard of a skill game. Like checkers. Yeah, checkers is hard, right? Checkers, you know, do I move this one or this one? If I jump him, you know, what'll get me to king? Yeah, it's somewhat difficult. But MMA, think about it. MMA, you have to deal with jiu-jitsu, you have to do with judo, you have to do with kickboxing, regular boxing, wrestling. It's like chess. It's like there's knights, there's queens, kings, bishops. You can't just move one piece and then, oh, okay, that's good. Because every piece you move can maybe impact your loss or your win in that fight. And so that's how MMA is a much more strategic, it's much more mind game. When you're fighting in the cage, you have to constantly be aware of how he's fighting. Even when he's just throwing punches, you got to be able to notice that maybe his hand's dropping a little bit. Maybe you can come in if he tries to pull that same jab again. It's a much more strategic mind game rather than boxing is. But that's all I have on that. A very exciting, very heartfelt video. It's been your boy, Trevor Kraft, here with you. Please leave a comment, subscribe, like the video, dislike the video, I don't really care. And leave me a comment on if you feel like I'm right about what I'm saying, or if you kind of have a different approach towards it, or if you just think I'm wrong, which I'm not really. I mean, I'm really not. But you can still leave something if you still think I'm wrong. And just leave the bullshit trash talking off the channel. There's no need for it. But it's been your boy. I'll see y'all in the next video. And deuces.